Okay, so we're going to go with that. The top four after I shuffle. All right, let's turn them over and see what comes up. Okay, well, this is the first card is Passion Ignited. And this is a spiritual card. This has to do with, feeling good about things, with you're really creating, making things happen for yourself. When I'm feeling this card, I took a look at it. When I'm feeling it, of course, it's a lot of, I think, a lot of sexual energy. And I know she looks that way, but sometimes I feel like, well, maybe it's a project people are excited about. I feel like there's some romance in the air for some of you. And again, this is a general reading, but just saying, if there was a lunar eclipse last month on the 24th, and there were relationships, it was in Libra, which is the relationship sign. So there may have been some breakups or makeups, or maybe you're meeting new people, or you're becoming infatuated again with whoever you're like. But it just, when I look at this card, sometimes it is about pets or something that we're working on, which it very well could be. But I am hearing sexual and actually some sexual tension, which actually can be playful, which might be a good thing for some of you. Okay, and so when I look at this card, I'm looking at the yellow, which is the fire part in the solar plex. So I'm feeling like this is giving you a lot of inner power, empowerment about where you are, who you are, making you feel sort of like the lion or the lioness, right? I'm also feeling too, since it's a spiritual card, this could be about somewhere, I said empowerment earlier and that felt right. So somewhere like a retreat or an induction, that word came up. I'm even hearing the words Hall of Fame. So I don't really understand what that might mean. It could be the Hall of Fame of whatever industry you're in, or a big ceremony for those that are in your company and you're being inducted, or someone is, or someone close to you. I'm not feeling so much like it's school or graduation, though it could be, but I am feeling like it's a big ceremony and a big to-do for some of you out there. And again, if these messages aren't clear for you, watch your rising and moon signs, because sometimes those are a little bit more. You never know. It really does feel like some sexuality around this particular card. And like I said, if you're meeting someone new and you're sort of playing that game, then good for you. There's a lot of spiritual empowerment around that. All right, so let's look at the next card, and it is a major arcana card, which is, this particular deck calls it intuition. It's the same as the High Priestess. And the High Priestess, how I look at her, is she's very intuitive. She knows the cycles of the moon. She understands that whatever cycle it's on, this too shall pass. The beginnings and the endings and the ebb and the flow. This card also has to do with secrets revealed or truths coming out. So it could mean that some of you might be investigating, doing some, I'm hearing heavy investigating. And it might be that a court case or legal issues. I was going to say battles. It could be. You never know. I am feeling like if any of you are attorneys, that there is a prominent case, and it just might mean a prominent case in your community that you're working on, or maybe more than that, and there's just some secrets that are, maybe you don't want to tell who it's about. Maybe that's it. You don't want everyone to know. This case, I'm hearing with one case, it could involve a good amount of money, like millions, into the 40-50 million. So that could be a settlement, or that could be something to do with fraud or something into that nature. But just saying, I do see some heavy investigation, sort of like a Sherlock Holmes type of deal. That's not for everybody, of course. That's pretty specific, but just to say. The other thing, I am feeling that some of you are going to find some unhidden, you're going to delve in so much that some truths will be unveiled about somebody, some situation that you've been waiting for. Okay, and then the other thing I'm seeing in this is this loop right here on this door. And actually it's a pull. But when I looked at it, I felt like it was a key. So again, a key to unlocking and solving mysteries. I am seeing the cross around her neck. So there, to me, that feels like there's support and empowerment with this. And my puppy's chewing on a paper I dropped on the floor, which, thanks goodness, is not a problem if he chews on it. But I do feel like that's about you guys really feeling strong with who you are, resonating with your spirit side, with your intuition while you're doing this investigation. Okay? All right. So the next card is another Major Arcana card. And you know, these cards have to do with major influences in our life. And so now you've gotten the High Priestess. Now you have next you have the Authority or the Emperor card. And the Emperor resonates to me as a man. It can be a woman, but somebody who's been very powerful in your life, and someone who makes quick decisions, someone who doesn't beat around the bush, and someone who has your back. You know, I go back to that. They're in support of you. They're a little bit strict on their rulings. And again, this could go back to court. This actually could be you. And this also could be, interestingly enough, and then I looked at this card and it felt right. I was going to say your higher self. Listening to your higher self. And then I saw this yellow around the top of his head. So there is sort of a spiritual denotion towards this. There is a little bit of he knows what to do kind of deal. He's done this before. This could go into, seriously, it could go into past lives, and it's just knowledge coming up and you just know how to handle this. Like I said, it could be someone that's there to support you. This could be a father figure, a strong father figure. If you need advice, I would encourage you for mentoring to ask the questions you want to ask, because this guy's coming up strong. It could be a boss, or it could be somebody you work with. It is feeling quite a bit like a father, and or someone who feels like a father, uncle, that sort of thing, or a stepfather even. Very, very much in the know of what's going on, or at least can lend you some good ideas and details and information. All right. So the last card of your 4-card spread, Aries, is the physical card of, I love this card. This is material and spiritual prosperity. Okay, so I was just talking about your spirituality this month. It is coming in strong with Passion Ignited of the spiritual cards, then the Empress, then the Emperor, or excuse me, the High Priestess, then the Emperor. So this has to do with really, really enjoying the fruits of your labor, being proud of what you're doing, the action you're putting out to make the money you're getting, the land you own, your family, your community, your values, what you're doing in life. It's just kind of like fluffing your feathers and feeling good about things. When I look at this card, it's interesting. What I was seeing is the railings, but them going straight up to the water. Okay, so there's some grounding with this. The railings feel like grounding, but the water feels like emotions. So feeling grounded in your house, but emotionally good about that. Feeling emotionally like you're overflowing. I do see some of you taking care of kids. That just came up, or smaller children or babies, but I'm really more seeing around the year and a half, that stage right there. So any of you that have grandchildren or children or someone's friend's baby that you're going to be taking care of, then I think some of you will be happy to do so, even if it's for a small amount of time period to help out a friend. This is the number 6, and in numerology, 6 has to do with, again, family, responsibility, love, generosity, abundance. Number 6, life paths, love other people. But number 6 too is about, with abundance, it's about visually intending what you want to create and it just coming to you like the law of attraction. Sorry about the excess noise. Speaking of abundance, the puppy has plenty of abundant energy, but you know he sleeps too, so he knows how to balance life, which I love. And then also I'm seeing the yellow, the sun in this. So that feels like to me that you guys, feel your joy around all of it. It might be a little grounding for you to take care of children. It might be grounding for you to take care of pets. It just might be grounding for you to sit out on your lawn and enjoy the springtime. So this is interesting that this came up after the authority card, because it feels like to me that this is going to give you that empowerment that keeps going over in my mind for you all, that came up with the first card of her, that third chakra, which this is the crystal, one of the crystals. This is yellow, and this is a citrine. It's really good for feeling that inner power, for any digestive or intestinal problems that you have, that anybody has. You just lay it on your stomach, or you can carry it around with you. And these are healing property type of crystals. All crystals are.